How is everybody doing today? My name is Chris. Welcome to Bourbinsane. We're back today and we've got round number 2 of our brand new series, Battle of the Bourbons. Now for this Battle of the Bourbons series, we're going to be talking about the best single barrel bourbon on the market. I wanted this series to be whiskeys that were at least semi-attainable. So we've got a couple that are more difficult to find, but majority of these you're going to be able to go out and pick them up right off the shelf. Also, I want them to be somewhat affordable, so $65 is like the top dollar on this, so no unicorns, nothing over $100, anything like that. For those of you that have not seen round number 1, go check it out real quick. It's a very, very fun episode. We did a blind tasting of 4 whiskeys. As you can see, we've got 4 more lined up today. So what this series is all about is we're going to be doing 16 single barrel whiskeys side by side to figure out the best single barrel on the market. These are all blind tastings. We're going to do it bracket style in honor of March Madness, and we're going to taste 4 at a time, move the top 2 to the next round, and eventually we're going to pick our best single barrel bourbon. I'm excited. We've got round 2 here. Again, this could be any of the 16. Let me go ahead and put up an image for you guys so you can see what 16 could possibly be included here. A lot of options on there, a lot of great bourbons. Let's get right into this. These have been poured by Mrs. Bourbinsane. I'm going to shuffle these as well. We don't know what these are. It could be literally anything. Literally any of those 16. So alright, that's shuffled enough. I had no idea what they were to begin with, but in case you wanted to make sure I didn't, there you go. Let's get right into sample number 1, guys. Ooh. Again, like with last round, a little bit of a banana note, you know, banana Brown-Forman note. Beautiful creamy sweet oak. A lot of baking spices coming through. Burnt sugar, you know, like brown sugar burnt caramelized. It smells like a Bananas Foster on the nose. It really does. It smells delicious. Finish is a little lacking. It tastes a little bit lower proof. Of course, me being me, I like higher proof, barrel proof, things that are give you that punch and burst of flavor. You know, on the nose, it's got everything you want. It's a beautiful, beautiful nose. Finish falls a little bit flat. It still stays true to Brown-Forman. I mean, I'm just going to say it right now. It stays true to Brown-Forman, like maybe an Old Forester. Maybe a Woodford. I don't know if we put any Woodford in this lineup or not, but it's good. It's really good. I just wish the proof was a little bit higher. All right, sample number 2. Ooh, cinnamon and nuttiness. A lot of cinnamon. And almost like a little bit of honey roasted peanut coming through on this. Smells a little grainy and a little alcohol forward actually on this. Not the most pleasant nose. You know, I don't mind the nuttiness. But it smells pretty low proof again. And a little like cinnamon. Almost like maybe a cinnamon almond or a cinnamon peanut you would get from the fair, you know, if you go. Not a bad nose, it just doesn't smell complex, very basic. Palate is better. More sweetness on the front of the palate there. You know, I'd say a little bit of brown sugar, caramel, vanilla. Very short finish though. Center of the palate gave you a little bit of creaminess, but almost no oak in this. Short finish, no rye bite at all. I wish I had some rye bite, but I don't get that at all on this one. So not bad, but 1's definitely ahead of 2 so far. All right, sample number 3. I really had to stick my nose down in the Glen to get something out of that. Little citrusy, a little fruity. Oaky too, actually. Doesn't smell that high proof. Like I said, I had to put my whole nose in there to get anything out of the glass, but the notes that come through out of the glass are actually quite nice. Light citrus, a little bit of sour apple, I'd say again. Little cinnamon cherry. Smells good. Palate punch, baby. Palate punch. That's good. More oak on the back of the palate for this one. It's got a little bit of nuttiness. Again, it's like the apple note to me. I'm still leaning like wild turkey profile. When I say sour apple, like for some reason my mind goes there for wild turkey. I don't know why. But it's got the nuttiness. It's got the barrel, you know, like the oak. I've walked through Wild Turkey's Rickhouse, and that's what this smells like. It smells like a Wild Turkey Rickhouse. Watch me be completely wrong on this, but that's where my mind is taking it. So, really, really nice whiskey. Great mouthfeel, great finish on that one. All right, sample number 4. Oh. Oh, man. I like the nose on this. It's definitely a creamier nose. But no alcohol burn. You know, no alcohol burn. Some lighter fruits in there. Little peach pear, I would say. A little bit of cherry, I guess. If I'm digging down the glass, I get some cherry. Yeah, sweet oak and cherry on that too. Another nice nose. Really nice nose, but for some reason, none of these really jumped out at me, proof-wise, at least on the nose. Pretty decent mouthfeel. A little bit of bitter oak took over on the back of the palate, which for me, if you guys watch my episodes, you know I am not a bitter oak guy. I love a creamy, rich, smooth oak, but bitter oak, it's one of the most off-putting notes in whiskey for me. So I don't like that. It's still a good whiskey, but just the finish is a little lacking. Nice sweetness up front. Nice burst of citrus, you know, on the front of the palate, but back of the palate dried me out a little bit. All right, round 1, first time through. I have some initial impressions. I'm going to take about 10-15 minutes, come back with you guys. I'll let these open up a little bit, and we'll figure out round 2 what it holds for us. All right, everyone, we're back. Took about 10 more minutes there. Just let these open up a little bit more. Let's go back in last to first, and we'll see if anything changes. Again, order of the whiskey I drink them in makes all the difference. So let's see if anything changed. This is giving me alcohol burn. I don't know why. Most of my bottles I tried to at least let open up for a few weeks because I knew this series was upcoming. Even if they were like pretty much fresh neck pours, I tried to drink a couple drinks out of them so that they were down a little bit. It's almost like a cherry, almost like a little cherry cough drop. No, I know I wouldn't have included Maker's Mark in any of these lineups, but a little bit of cherry, but it's definitely sweet oak. You know, sweet oak with the cherry. Dare I say like a Buffalo Trace profile? I'm not gonna guess whiskeys, guys. I'm not. I told myself I wouldn't do that. This is too difficult. It reminded me of Buffalo Trace. You know, I just said I wasn't going to. It's reminding me of a Buffalo Trace product. I don't know. That's the profile. Second sip was much better. You know, not as much of the bitter drying oak on the back of the palate. Still there, but a little bit sticking to the sides of the palate. Not a lot of rye bite though. You know, I'm feeling rye right now. I feel like I want some rye kick or something just to give me, you know, let me know you're there on the back of the palate. And 4 is really not doing that for me. All right, back to sample number 3. Oh yeah, it's just a candy coated. It's like a maraschino cherry drizzled with cinnamon. Like that's what it is. Again, a cinnamon apple. It's like a cinnamon apple, like an apple pie almost. Cinnamon apple pie. Nice. This has really nice balance of oak with like the baking spices, a little bit of nuttiness. It has just a really nice balance of everything. Nothing is sticking out over another note. Very well balanced pour, whatever this is. And it's delicious. Just delicious on the palate, too. Whew, that's got some kick, man. I don't know if that's rye spice or if that's kick, but that is kick. That's kick and rye spice. I think so. Definitely get that rye tingling on the back of the palate, which I love. Proof is drinking over 100. You know, it's drinking over 100 proof on this one. But really, really nice flavor. Again, medium to long finish even on this. This is really good, whatever this is. All right, back to sample number 2. Oh, it just smells like swill after trying sample number 3. Like, it really does. Night and day difference. Like, this is just so mellow, so light. A little bit of nuttiness, like I said, like a peanut note. But 3 is just destroying this, whatever these 2 whiskeys are. It's an unfair comparison. Like, that's really how it is. No, that's just not for me. Not for me. Not a bad whiskey, but it falls short, you know, in every category. Not a huge burst of flavor. Tastes very low proof. Not a great mouthfeel. Not a great finish. Maybe I got a bad single barrel, whatever this is. I don't know. Because I didn't put anything too bad in here, I didn't think so. But I'm not on board with this one right now. All right, finally, sample number 1. It's literally a creme brulee banana dessert is what this is. Like, this is reminding me of Heritage Barrel. This is literally reminding me of Jack Daniel's Heritage Barrel, which is impressive, like, because I love that bottle, if you guys saw my review of that. I like the nose on this, man. This is really surprisingly good. Like, surprisingly good. Again, another very well-balanced dram. You know, it's beautiful sweetness along with a little bit of that oak on the back end of the nose. It just smells very nice. This is like a bourbon I would recommend to anyone starting into whiskey. Because it's not super high proof, but it still gives you a nice punch of flavor. Not alcohol burn, but like a punch of flavor and just classic bourbon notes you want. You know, baking spices, clove, banana with the, you know, the sweetness, the fruitiness. Really, really good. This is a tough round again. One stinker in this round, but the rest are really close. So let's figure out what the results are. All right, once again, I took a couple minutes just to get my order. I think I've got it figured out though. So coming in 4th place for me was sample number 2, which was just bad. It just smelled bad on every level for me. So let's find out what that is. I got my results here. I think this is Jim Beam White Label. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. When I bought it, it wasn't my favorite to begin with anyway, but not a terrible pour, but it's just very, very basic, very, very intro level. You know, so if that's what you're into, more power to you. Number 2, I'm sorry, number 3 in our order, orange. It's the one I said was kind of cherryish. Wow, this is E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. Oh man, really? I really thought this would finish higher. I guess that sweet oak and cherry is Buffalo Trace profile for me. That's how I describe it, but I thought Single Barrel would be another one that really finished really high for me. This is why blind is best, guys. It really is. Results you weren't expecting, you know? Let's go into number 2. Green X. This is Old Forester Single Barrel. Okay, that makes sense with the notes I was getting. The bananas fostered, very desserty. Great starter bourbon. Old Forester Single Barrel, one of the best. And that leaves sample number 1. Russell's Reserve. Again, makes sense. Russell's Reserve I love. One of my go-to bourbons all the time. So, no surprise on this. Let me go grab the bottles and I'll be right back with you. Alright, we've got our lineup here. Not too shocking with the top 2. I love both these whiskeys. I'm shocked at the Single Barrel. Jim Beam White Label is a pick from Total Wine I got down in Kentucky. Just very average. It's 47.5%, but it drank even lower than that. Honestly, it tasted a lot like Jim Beam White Label. Again, it's single barrel, so who knows, you might get one that you like. Very, very possible, you know. E.H. Taylor single barrel. I can hardly believe this this fared this low, but 100 proof. I generally like this more than the small batch, but it's, again, it just fell a little bit short for me. Classic Buffalo Trace, still a great bourbon. Now, again, guys, with most of these, I'm nitpicking. I'm really nitpicking, so this is more expensive, though. This is about $65, even $65-ish, you know, at retail, if you can find it. So, crazy to see it fared that low, you know. Old Forester Single Barrel, on the other hand, $45, state minimum here. And this is just excellent. As I said, one of the best introductory bourbons to anyone wanting to start into whiskey. Hey, something easy, it's 90 proof, good value, you know, $45. I recommend this all the time to people who ask me. And number one, no surprise, Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. These you can find everywhere, just the normal single barrel and store picks. Store picks are very common with this, so keep your eye out. It's about $55, $60, $60 to $65 in my area, I'd say. But worth every penny for most of the Russell's picks I've had. Fantastic Wild Turkey product. I just love it. Top two moving on. We've got Old Forester and Russell's Reserve. We're going to be moving on to the next round. We don't know who they're going to be taking on yet. We'll find out. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Hope you all enjoyed this blind tasting. Again, I had a lot of fun with round two. We now have a little idea of what's going to be coming with episodes to coming up. So make sure you stay tuned for round number 3. We're going to be putting 4 more single barrel bourbons head-to-head against each other. Who knows what we have in store? Who knows, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Let me know down in the comments below which one of these 4 would have won for you. You know, what would have been the top 2 for you that moved forward in this round? I want to hear your thoughts. I appreciate y'all hanging out today. Stay insane, everyone.